Hi everyone! So I'm going to do a makeup look today on the stories. I am going to be showing you all a black smoky eye. I will list all the products as I'm going along, so I hope you enjoy and I'll see you later. I've already prepped my skin with some moisturiser and I'm just going in with a Poreless Putty primer. I love this one, it's by e.l.f. So I'm just putting this on my big areas. So I thought I would do a story today instead of doing an Instagram TV, just because I haven't got the time to edit at the moment. We've got 6 days till opening and there's a lot to do. I'm going to go straight in and carve out my brow. I'm using a MAC Studio Finish concealer and mixing it with a bit of P. Louise base. Using an e.l.f. concealer brush to pat the product on first, all over my lid. And I just pat it on. Crazy. And then I'm just taking a small flat brush. I was trying to find my P. Louise base brush, but I can't find it anyway. And I'm just gonna carve out my eyebrow. Using this small brush. So, as I previously said, I'm really excited now though. I can't wait to get back to it. So I'm just using this just to smooth out that edge a bit. Opening back up in 6 days, so I think this is going to be the last makeup video I do before we go back. I can even record then, speaking to myself. So I've just used the Peggy Sage buffing brush and I've just buffered the concealer up into my brow without going into the hairs, just so I've got a smooth base. And now I'm just taking my Morphe palette in 350 and I'm using a caramel shade. I can't find my brush. And I'm just going to put this on the lids. So I am sorry for the awkward silence, guys, but I thought I would quickly come on whilst my littlest one is having a nap. So I'm just putting this on my lid. But yeah, I said in the previous post, but it wasn't actually recording. I was just speaking to myself about everyone going back to work. Was excited. Who doesn't want to go back? I have enjoyed the time off, I'm not gonna lie. It's been nice with the kids. But I am ready now to get back to normality. Ready for when I add my black. So I've just blended this colour up into my brow slightly, and I'm not using any more product, I'm just using what's on the brush. And I'm just going to blend that outwards. So I'm now taking a small buffing brush and I'm going to go in with a dark chocolate colour and I'm just going to put this into my crease. So I'm just going to blend this out. And I do excuse the skin because I had a spot and I'm a picker and I just kept picking and picking and picking. And now I've got a big scab on my nose. It's really sore. Anybody else love picking spots? So I'm just going to take this colour and I'm putting it in to my crease. So I haven't picked up any product on there. Gonna blend this together. So I'm just gonna blend out the dark now with the brush I was using. Now there's hardly any product now on the brush, so I'm just using this to soften the edges, like just trying to get like the best angle so I haven't got this like hideous hand in the way of my face all the time. Okay, so I'm just gonna go around the edges now, and I'm using the Juvier's Masquerade, which is absolutely stunning. I'm just gonna use like this burnt orange colour, and I'm just using a small blending brush, and I'm just gonna go over the edge of the dark and just blend, so I get that kind of burnt orange smoky look. So I'm just going over the top of this and blending it out slightly, and the same on the other side. I kind of like the top of the dark with this orange colour. More smoky burnt orangey colours. This is like my go-to colours. But recently I have been loving the bright colours, guys. If you've all seen my pink bright, I love that. And I never really wear pink makeup at all. So I know lots of people love that one. So I thought I would go for something a bit more dramatic today. So I'm just blending. I'm just going to blend these now. And I'm just going to take a slightly lighter orangey colour out of my Morphe palette, and I'm using this fluffy brush, and I'm just going to soften over the edges to blend this. Together, so I haven't got no harsh lines. I'm using a bigger brush this time. The bristles are a bit more thicker, so it's a lot better for your blend. Still trying to get the angles, but I'm just going to go in now with this e.l.f. palette, and I'm using a black shade. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to spritz my brush. I'm going to use just a flat brush, and I'm just going to dip into the black, and then I'm going to pat this all. Always do your eyes first, guys. Like, don't worry about any of this. So I'm just bringing the black into my brown, like so, and the other one. Now, black can be messy, so don't panic if you get a lot of fallout. That's why we've done the eyes first. Onto my lid. So I'm just going back in with the small buffing brush that I used for my dark brown, and I'm just blending the black into that brown shade. So I just want to make sure that I can see all my colours. And then I'm going back in with my orange shade, and I'm just going over those edges again of the brown, just to make sure they're completely blended, because you do lose some of your colour sometimes when you are. And now I'm just going to take a wet wipe and just clean underneath my eye and around. Now, I was going to keep this quite matte, but I don't know whether to add some glitter. So onto brows. Now, I haven't got the best brows at all, but when I do this, they do look 10 times better. They just need a little TLC in a brush. So I'm just using a pomade I'm using a Revolution pomade in soft brown, and I'm taking a angled brow brush, and I'm just gonna carve up like so. It's really quiet in my house. It's really nice. A bit different today, instead of the usual NARS. So I'm just going to pat this all into my skin. The shade is slightly darker than my natural skin because I haven't. Brows are done, and I'm going to go in with my foundation now. I'm going to use a foundation brush, and I am using the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate foundation. I thought I would use something that we're gonna go with it. Pat, pat, pat. And I'm gonna take it onto my... I find when you pat the product into your skin, you get more of a flawless coverage. Like, it might be a bit too full coverage for some people, but I like that we will blend this to make sure it is. I look crazy. Pat, 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 pat. Full glam. So I'm just working this all into my skin. I'm not going right up to my eyes because I'm going to go in with some concealer now. But yeah, this foundation is definitely not my shade, guys. So when I've done that, I'm just taking a damp beauty blender. Just gonna push the product into my skin. And I love using one of these because you can be a bit more accurate with it where you're putting it on your face. And I find when I bounce this over my foundation, it just looks lush. So I've taken the hair down so I don't look like a crazy woman. Horrendous. So concealer, I am using the same as I did to do my eye base. I'm using a matte concealer, and I'm taking a tiny bit of peel. So I'm just going to do this to either side. And then I'm going to take this and pat it underneath my eye. Now this looks really, really white, but when you blended it in, it doesn't look. In the centre of my forehead. I just accidentally deleted the last video. So once I have put the concealer all under my eye, I just then go in with my beauty blender and pat over, and I take some up the centre of my nose. If you haven't guessed already, I absolutely love e.l.f. makeup. It's so reasonable and is amazing. Sorry, I thought everyone went off then. As soon as you put foundation on, you stop looking so crazy. It's starting to come together now. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a cream contour to contour my cheeks. Now I'm using another e.l.f. my Real Techniques brush, and I'm dipping into the contour palette, and I'm just going to work this under my cheekbones into my hairline, and my forehead on the sides, and blending upwards into my hairline. When you use a cream contour, your bronzer just stays so much better. So I'm just going to do this either side. The lighting's starting to get a bit bad now. A big secret, if you do some under your lips, if you've got small lips, it gives you an appearance of larger lips, guys. And I'm taking it onto my powder brush, and I'm just gonna pat the powder into my under eye, just so it doesn't crease. Now that I've finished with all my creams, so I've used cream for my contour and under my eye with my concealer, I'm just going to go in with some pressed powder by MAC, and I'm just using another e.l.f. brush and the tip of my nose. I'm going to take my Studio Fix Plus powder now for my bronzer, and I'm using a Spectrum bronzing brush. This brush is my absolute favourite. It's amazing. It's angled so you can put your contour. Disney themed makeup brushes as well, were absolutely gorgeous. So I'm just taking the powder and I'm putting it on where I've contoured with my cream. I'm adding some to my chin. Nice palette this is. So next I'm going to go in with my Coral Spectrum blush palette. Now I want to keep this quite glowy and bronze, so I'm not going to go in with anything too pink. I'm going to go in with this shade by here. It's like a corally colour. This one, it's a bit shimmery. And everywhere that I've contoured, I'm just going to put this pretty colour just to warm my skin up a bit. So I'm going to put some on my forehead, on my chin, tip of my nose. So these products are fab, and I'm just putting it on the highest points of my face. So my Cupid's bow, putting a bit on my nose. I like to put from Primark. This is amazing. I use this one all the time, and I'm just going to dip in to this gold colour, and I'm just using it with a small little brush onto my cheekbone. Now that all my base is done, I'm just going to go in with some dark shadow under my eyes. So I'm just going back in with the same colours that I used before. I'm just going to go in with a black shade first with a small brush. So now that I've done my blusher, I'm going to spritz my face, just for any dry areas. And I'm going to apply my highlighter. I'm going to be using the Pure Glow highlighter palette under my eyes slightly. And I'm bringing it down. I need a mirror. I'm not joining the ends together though. So I've just done my under eye shadows, and I've just added a tiny bit of pencil eyeliner into my waterline. So I'm just going to finish this now with mascara and lashes, and I will be back in a moment. But if you want a list of any products that I haven't mentioned, just pop us a message and let us know what you'd like to see from us next. Bye!